Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff, formerly of Welton Rayon, PA, a longtime sponsor of the Big O Show. Now that Dan retired, I opened Welton Associates. I started this firm with a simple belief. When you hire a lawyer, you should be able to talk to your lawyer. For nearly 30 years, I have helped Floridians through serious legal problems. At my firm, you get direct access to me, clear communication, and a lawyer who knows the details of your case. I believe technology should make legal representation easier, not more impersonal. At Wealth & Associates, you get direct access to me, clear answers, personal attention, and real advocacy. Look us up at weltlawfirm.com or give me a call at 954-966-4646. Consultations are always free. And let me know that you found me at the Big O Show.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
There's just one place to enjoy your Acura Summer of Performance event, Acura of Pembroke Pines. So hit the road in the new RDX, $419 a month. Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Now we're ready to go. All right. Welcome aboard, folks. Hope all is well. Hope all is good on a beautiful Thursday, August 6, 2026. It is day number 19,198 since our beloved Miami Dolphins were world champions. Day number 8,981 since the Canes were national champions. And day number 4,794 since the Miami Heat were world champions. Welcome. All right. Yesterday, Messi putting on a show. If you watched the Leagues Cup, I unfortunately did not get to watch it. I saw the highlights. I did not see the action against Atlético de San Luis. You could tell that a lot of people didn't really care about Leagues Cup. The seats were empty. Anyway, there was some, it's a lot of soccer, and it's a tournament that nobody gives a shit about, because really, who cares if they win this? It's really about winning the MLS Cup. You got to win the MLS Cup. They couldn't win the CONCACAF. They got eliminated early. That's what they wanted even more than the MLS Cup this year. They have to win the MLS Cup. So, they're playing like 6 games in 3 weeks or something like that, and these games, like, you play 3 of them in a week, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot. And I'm not Messi is clearly a gym rat. That dude just loves to play. But you got to protect him from himself. But the problem is he runs the damn team. So if he wants to play, when somebody I've learned something in life, that when people want to do something, you're not going to stop them from it. And it could be good, and it might be death too at the same time. And it's really screwed up. Lessons that you learn in life, but it is what it is. Anyway, we got some stuff to talk about. Eric Edholm, we could not hook up yesterday, so now we're hoping we get Eric here at 10:30. We'll bounce around the NFL. We'll get his thoughts on the Dolphins, all of that good stuff. Just to give you a little opening now with the markets, just opening a little while ago. Bitcoin's at 64,371. No change. It's been farting around there the entire time for a little bit now. As for the markets, the Dow is down 25 points, almost 26 points, not much. The S&P is up 11, not much moving in the market. The NASDAQ is down about a half a point. SpaceX, today in SpaceX, $101 billion of SpaceX stock becomes available today to be sold. So this is the first time since they went public in June that the initial investors can sell, and their shares are a lot cheaper. So a lot of people, like yours truly, has been waiting for this and saying, here's the dump, and we might go under $100 today. We're at 109. Okay? We're at 109.75. We hit 108 yesterday to close. So I'm just predicting the falling knife. Never any financial advice. I know nothing. I'm just guessing. Okay? Just throwing that out there. But we'll see what happens. All right? Audio-wise, everything cool? You guys good? Everything good? Everything sound good? All right? All right? Okay. Let's see. Big Johnson in there. By the way, yesterday, Dave Hyde was on with us. You can go to the platform if you want to watch the interview. You can check it out there. Hit the like button also. All that good stuff. Get the algorithms going. So if you missed Dave Hyde yesterday, go to the website. You can go to the show yesterday, or the interviews out individually too at the same time. And you are correct, Oscar Rojas. We must give Inter Miami a victory. Yes. Good call by you, sir. Good call by you. Yep. Let's see. Big Johnson, a little roll call. Happy Thursday, Dolphin Dave. Oscar Rojas is smashing it. Let's see. Jeff in Long Island. I have no life. I will watch preseason game tonight. I will too. I'll probably watch. I'll watch as much as Carson Beck plays. That's it. I'm not going to lie. The second that Carson Beck goes to the bench, finito. Over. Not watching anymore. It's all I give a shit about. What else do I care about? I don't want to. I mean, I normally would watch the kickoff, maybe the each team get the ball once or twice, and then I'm done. I wouldn't even watch it. It's a Hall of Fame game. This is garbage. I mean, they're playing the backups of the backups in this game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to watch Carson Beck because what the hell? You know, he's a Cane, and might as well watch him. You know, he did all right for the Canes last year. So what the hell? That's about it. That's about the only thing that I really care about or I'm interested in to see how the kid plays. I feel bad for him because he's in a terrible environment because the Cardinals are a bad team. And it's kind of like our team until Half and Sully proved that this place is real. You come here to die also, just like the Browns or the Jets or whatever. It's if you're a quarterback, you don't want to go to those franchises because they don't provide you what you need in order to succeed. You know what I'm saying? In a perfect world. Because that's the imperfect world we have lived in for decades. Because everybody looks at it and goes, yeah, you know, traditionally, quarterbacks are going to die in those places. And that's the truth. Until all of those places change their ways, that's always going to be the case. So that's why I look at the Carson Beck situation like, okay, I'm happy for the kid, but at the same time, I know that I feel bad for him because he's also with the Cardinals. And that it's hard enough to make it in the NFL. It's even harder to make it with a bad football team, a bad organization that doesn't know how to support their players. Okay? And that's not to say anything. I think the way Sully and Half have actually complimented Malik, I think they've done the best they could with the limitations that they have, actually. But, again, nothing's proven. So until it's proven, we're not out of the woods yet. Brooklyn Rob, good to see you, my brother. Welcome back. Rock is in the house. Eugene, good morning. Are you ready for some football? I am definitely ready for some football and football talk, and it's good to have you guys. Jaybird, great hearing Dave Hyde on the show. I've always enjoyed his insight. Yep. Let's see. Alexis Palenzuela. Oscar, super impressed with Noah Allen last night. Yeah, he had all the assists. Yeah. The assists to Messi were fantastic, dude, last night. When I saw the highlights, I was a little busy, unfortunately. I've had a long ass week here, but that was crazy, man. Messi took the spotlight with those 2 goals last night. Yeah. Great assists. I mean, he's going to finish it, and he put it right there perfect. And Messi doesn't hesitate. That's the difference between him and a ton of other players. Other players, they just have this slight hesitation sometimes because they wait a little bit or they want the perfect. And Messi knows how to one-time the bitch no matter what. He's awesome at that. Maybe that guy might make it in this league. Jeff in Long Island, thank you, sir. Appreciate you looking out. Ocala Joe, smashing it. Lenny Pena, 35 days till football, baby. Is that true that one of the rockets? Yes. Yeah, one of the SpaceX rockets crashed into the moon. And it's also now an experiment because by it crashing into the moon, and it sends out all kinds of particles and all that. And now it's going to create a hell of a crater, too. And they also get to see what's underneath the surface, too. And so they are able to analyze it. So they're getting a negative and turning it into a positive. What you should be worried about is that there is over, I believe the number is about 100 million satellite objects all around the Earth that are dead satellites, pieces of satellites, all kinds of stuff that is just floating, and eventually it's got to land somewhere. So these are things that you should be worried about. Don't worry about the rocket that hit the moon. Worry about the ones that will hit Earth eventually. Something to think about. Yeah, we go to places, you ask me stuff, and you just never know what's in here. So, it might scare you. Ty in the Bronx. What's up, my brother? Billy is in the house. Good morning to you, sir. Fitzgrass. Is Ken Dorsey back at UM? Well, I hope not. That means you can't have any laptops. No more pads or anything, then he'll be breaking them all. So I hope not. It's a joke. Anyway, let's see. Skylar Tipton. Uh-oh, what else? Okay. Too bad the Dolphins aren't playing the Cardinals this year. Hey, dude. Rock, why do you want to win games? Rock, No. Put Seattle on the schedule. Put the Rams on the schedule. Let me take the 2 Jets games out. Let me go find a couple of other teams that I can put on the schedule. I'm all for it, bro. I'm not worried about. I just want players to develop, but I'm not worried about wins. This is a year where we need to bottom out, dude. We need to do what Chris Greer and the boys wanted to do initially, but they screwed up by not talking to their coach and say, "Hey, we're on the same page, right? We're tanking, right?" Before you sign that contract, you understand that we're not trying to win the first year, right? They didn't do that. That one conversation wasn't held. You know what I'm saying? These guys, you're using 30, I think Dave said it was 38% yesterday of the cap. I know it was under 40. He says it's 38. So I'll take 38. And I know that it's that because I knew it was under 40. So you're using 38% of your cap. Plus, they're all young. How the fuck are you going to compete, bro? You think this is Moneyball in baseball or something? No, they're going to lose games. So I don't want to schedule cupcakes on the thing. I want the toughest teams. And by the way, that'll prepare your young guys for the following season. A nice ass kicking by everybody against the better teams. They'll end up. It's like JV players playing, their first year in varsity or something, and then they get to shine after that, and they grow up a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. That's all. Not a big deal. I'm not worried about that, dude. I'm good. I'm good with just individual development from some of the guys. Anyway, let's do this. Let's get to our 3A graphics sports calendar. And we got to start off on the pitch, bitch, because Inter Miami beat Atlético de San Luis 4-2 in League Cup play. Anyway, Messi, he had a brace in the 11th and 44th minutes. 2 goals there. Segovia also added one in the 26th. Saturday, they're back in action at New Stadium. Inter Miami taking on Monterrey. And I'm sure there's plenty of tickets available. Pretty affordable, too, overall. So if you want to go, there you go. The NFL begins tonight, the Hall of Fame game, the Panthers and the Cardinals. For you degenerates out there, the Panthers are favored by 1.5. The over and under is 35.5. Panthers minus 120 on the money line. The Cardinals are plus 100 on the money line. I cannot give you a pick here. I mean, it's dangerous to give you anything right now, but I have no feel for anything. Sometimes, I can screw around and throw something out there, like NBA Summer League, and I give you a winner, but this time I'm not doing it. But I did give you a winner in NBA Summer League. Okay. All right. Colts, they sign predicted, reported, rumored running back Jonathan Taylor to the Miami Dolphins. Remember him? Yeah, no, he was coming. Yeah, they were going to trade for him, trade a high pick, give him a big salary. Yeah, because that's what that GM and group, that's what they always did. They really overpaid for running backs in their day. Ooh, remember that? Yeah, that fell flat right there. Anyway, he gets a 2-year extension worth $44 million, 39 of it guaranteed. Now the contract could max out to $47 million as reported. The Commanders, they sign El Loco, Stephon Diggs, to a 1-year deal worth up to $12 million. That should be enough money for 2 baby mamas out of the 8 that he has. Aaron Donald yesterday also worked out for the Rams. Yeah, I just said that. Aaron Donald, the surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest defensive linemen to ever play, been retired 2 years. He's a workout freak, and he wanted to just put on a helmet and a uniform and try out. So he tried out for the Rams. This is the dude that has 111 sacks in 154 games. The Miami Dolphins are in the practice field, too, right now in Miami Gardens. Also, we'll keep you updated on anything else going on and developing there at camp. That is your 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. It's an update like you don't get anywhere else. Anyway, 786-618-1443, custom printing and embroidery. That's what it's all about. If your company, corporation, institution, school, whatever it is you work with, you need something, some T-shirts for a field trip, a picnic, whatever. You need 50, 100, 200, 300. We've seen them all. Uniforms, hats, shirts, whatever it is, 3A Graphics will print it for you. You do all of that through email, through Zoom. Bam, boom, bomb. 786-618-1443. Reach out to Alan Blanco and tell him that Big O sent you. Don't forget, you will get 10% off. Also, when you go to Caneswear, online or in person, use our code BIG-O10. They got anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. Dolphins gear, Panthers gear, Marlins gear, Heat gear, Inter Miami gear. Go to Caneswear and use our code BIG-O10. Thank you. Thank you. You like my Mandalorian shirt? Well, somebody gave it to me. I don't know if, let me see if they're here. Somebody gave it to me in the show. One of our fantastic human beings that support the show, because we have people that are rock solid and support our show. Do I see? Let me see. I think I see his. Anyway. Just want to see if I spot him, we'll give him. But yes, this was a gift, because this is the way. All right. Hey, media sometimes likes to twist reality. And why don't we just say reality is reality and call it like it is? I mean, that's kind of the way I like to do things. So today I'm perusing through as I'm preparing, and I always check the papers to see, what are the boys and girls writing about in South Florida sports, and I want to know. And so I'm looking at a Greg Cody column, and I'm trying to bring it up here on Twitter here. Hopefully I'll be able to bring it up, because I've kind of struggled with that before. But I bring up a Greg Cody column that is talking about the Marlins. Now, sometimes I know the writer never really actually, what's it called? The writer never really is the guy that writes the headlines, right? That they usually have somebody else, an editor. And it says Cody, and then it says MLB labor offer a godsend for low-budget teams like Miami Marlins. And I don't know if you guys saw that. Let me see if I can. I hope I can do this. Let's see. Ooh, I got it right. What a concept. So there it is. I want to ask you guys something. Low-budget teams like the Marlins. Are the Marlins a low-budget team, or is it a cheap-ass owner? What are they? I got a couple people there. I just want to know. What do you guys think watching there? Low-budget team or cheap-ass owner? Let me ask you something. Inter Miami, are they low-budget? Do they spend? The Panthers, hockey, not what used to be America's sport, because now it's football, but it used to be baseball. Never has been basketball, never has been hockey. But I'm just saying. So I'm just wondering, are the Panthers a low-budget team? Are the Dolphins a low-budget team? Are the Heat a low budget team. Is Canes football low budget? Okay, hold on a second. I got something better for you. Is it low budget to live in South Florida? How come we got a low budget owner? And you can check our conversation out with Dave, because I told him yesterday, I go, bro, you talk about him having money, but he doesn't spend. So who gives a shit? Seriously. It's like, here, I'll give you a really dirty analogy, okay? It's like a porn star that has a gifted package, but it doesn't work. So what's it use if it doesn't work? You're gifted, but it doesn't work. I guess you're not a very good porn star. So we'll hire the guy that's not as gifted, but it works. Same thing. Sherman's walking around with a big old schlong, but he can't use it because he's a cheapo. He's a billionaire. So I haven't seen that. When I see Jorge Mas, he acts like a billionaire. When I see Mickey Harrison, he acts like a billionaire. When I watch the Canes, they must have billionaire donors. I mean, everybody spends. Stephen Ross spends like it's going out of style. Brand new practice facility, a hospital on the damn grounds, buying any player that you ask him for, redoing the entire damn stadium, making the experience at least inside the stadium and around the stadium. I know traffic in and out is a bitch. That's not something he's ever going to fix. Nobody was going to fix that. That was there before him. But the experience at the stadium is 1 million times better after Garfinkel and Ross took over. That cannot be denied. The guy spends up the ass. Saved the tennis tournament. He's actually a pretty damn good custodian of South Florida sports in that sense. He doesn't win in the NFL, but shit, he has helped out in other things. But he spends. Everybody spends. You got to spend to live here. The only guy that doesn't spend shit is Bruce Sherman. And then you have this weak-ass stuff, like, and by the way, Dave Hyde got suckered by it too. Well, the collective bargaining agreement, now to force the Marlins to spend $150. Well, why do we have to force the Marlins? Do you have to force Stephen Ross to spend? Do you have to force Vinny Viola to spend? Do you have to force any of these people to spend? No. So why do we have to force these assholes to spend? That's what I'm talking about. It's insane. All right, we're going to talk a little NFL with the one and only Eric Edholm from Yahoo.
Hi, this is Jeff, formerly of Welton Realm, PA, a longtime sponsor of the Big O Show. Now that Dan retired, I opened Welton Associates. I started this firm with a simple belief. When you hire a lawyer, you should be able to talk to your lawyer. For nearly 30 years, I have helped Floridians through serious legal problems. At my firm, you get direct access to me, clear communication, and a lawyer who knows the details of your case. I believe technology should make legal representation easier, not more impersonal. At Welton Associates, you get direct access to me, clear answers, personal attention, and real advocacy. Look us up at weltlawfirm.com or give me a call at 954-966-4646. Consultations are always free. And let me know that you found me at the Big O Show.
There he is, lined up and ready to go in video. How you doing, baby? You doing good?
Everything's good. What's up with you, man?
Loving life. So, what's your next rock show? What do you got planned?
I just got back from seeing 2 Fish shows at Fenway, so that may be the the fill for the summer. I don't know. I think we're taking a little hiatus here as the NFL season kicks on.
That's ass kicking, dude. To see Fish at Fenway. Wow, bro.
I grew up in Boston, so I was a Fish fan, and I've never seen a show at Fenway before, and had to make the double dip.
Oh man, that is so cool. I'm actually one of my favorite bands. Well, my favorite band is U2, and I this year next year when they announce the tour, I'm gonna go to Ireland to see them.
Oh.
Probably I've seen them like 40 times or something, but all over the country I've seen them a whole bunch, all over the place.
Yep.
But this time I'm going to Ireland for this.
Good.
Tour.
Make it a day. Yeah, they had a famous show years ago on St. Patrick's in Boston at the Old Garden. That was a Pixies open. That's like a legendary night that the U2 fans still talk about.
Dude, Pixies opening up. Wow, that's pretty freaking good. Yeah, man.
Not bad.
I'm going to go see Kansas and Deep Purple on Sunday.
All right. Okay. There you go. Little 70s prog rock sort of. Yep.
Yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. All right. So first of all, let me get to a little Dolphins. Let me get your feel on what you see, because obviously, dude, we've had so many regime changes. But one of the things I always talk about, Eric, it's always human Jenga with the Dolphins. They slide one guy out, but they put one guy in. It's only the GM. It's only the head coach. This time they did a complete organizational enema, which is something that I've talked about for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So you tell me what you see as an outsider looking in.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could start there. Obviously, the arranged marriage kind of setup has, I would say, mixed bag success over the years, just looking at all 32 teams, right, where you pair, the current GM with a new head coach or vice versa. And sometimes what you have are creative differences that can lead to really good things, but other times it can lead to two guys who don't see the same vision, or a GM that wants to do things his way and is not building a roster to help the coach, or, a coach that's not using the talent at his disposal. So the fact that, that John, Eric, and Jeff are coming in as kind of a tandem. Granted, they were paired together not too long ago, but I think obviously in a short period of time in Green Bay, they were able to see sort of a common vision of what they wanted. And, obviously the offseason was interesting with Malik, and a draft class that was, I think as much about collecting talent, which I applaud. I thought they did a nice job of sticking to their board and hoovering up as many new talents as possible. And I think jobs are open for them. And look, you're in a division with a team that made the Super Bowl, and a Bills team that's been in contention the last several years, and a Jets team that's desperate to win now. Obviously, Aaron Glenn, I think, is feeling some pressure. So, it's hard not to wonder what the win total will be. But, they've clearly identified some pillars that they want to build around now, and in Willis and Achane. And I can't wait to see I like the start. This is a lot like what Washington did 2 years ago when they got Jane Daniels in a big rookie class that ended up being pretty fruitful.
The only thing is, dude, he's got to prove it to me. I'm not a Malik believer. I'm not. I just don't see the consistent accuracy there that you need at this level. Since you're such a passing team, you're going to have to be so dominant, like the Eagles, to kind of make up for Jalen Hurts in a way. That's the only thing that I don't know if Malik can turn into a more accurate passer. So what do you see? Because, dude, you do plenty of NFL and draft for you.
Yeah, I mean, Malik was such an interesting study coming out of Liberty in a couple of years ago, and obviously there was some suspicion about him. He felt around 3. It was a weird QB year where Kenny Pickett went in the first, and then there was about a 50-pick lag between the next quarterback, and I just think it reflected the questions people had with the class in general. The Steelers were obviously pretty motivated to get a potential starter in year one, but everybody else kind of held back. And I think what you saw early in his Tennessee career definitely reflected the accuracy issues and, the touch and feel and all the little details about pass protection and knowing where the pressure's coming from, knowing who your hot is, understanding the system like a pro. He was force fed a lot and it never really kind of sunk, but Green Bay was really smart to take him on a flyer. He's a thickly built guy, clearly a talented runner with arm talent. It's not like he can't throw. It's just a matter of honing that accuracy. And so, we don't have a big sample size. What is it? 6 starts in the league. That's not a whole lot to go off of. Obviously, when you're thinking draft, you want to have, at least 15. I think, it used to be 30 college starts was kind of the benchmark. Right now, we've kind of had to pare that down a little bit. But with Malik, if you combine his college career and what he's done as a spot starter in Green Bay, there's at least hope that he can be kind of the centerpiece of a Jalen Hurts-like system. I mean, at its best, that was a very successful thing with Kellen Moore, and they did a great job a couple years ago. Last year, you saw some of the limitations. So I don't know. I think they can build around the run game, with Achane and Gordon and Wright, and that could be kind of the heartbeat of this team with Willis's legs as well. And sometimes when you're in their position, you have to kind of tack against the wind a little bit and take a different approach.
Were you a Caden Proctor guy?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, the sheer size, I thought guard was the best spot for him. So I like that possibility of him thriving there. And, as a slobber knocker, run blocker, I think he can be a star, in terms of, he had some issues on the edge as a pass protector, and you could see those. And that's why I think a lot of people felt like his power and his and pretty good quickness for an inside guy, if we're projecting that, would be better suited at guard. So, yeah, I thought there was a lot to like there.
I thought he was more of a natural tackle, and now you're telling me, Eric, and you do a shit ton of film watching for draft purposes, so you thought that he would be a better guard. Wow, dude, no shit.
I just thought that handling speedy edge rushers without help was going to be difficult. Now, there have been other guys who've been able to overcome that, where you saw, with better technique, not oversetting, not undersetting too, obviously. But, finding that good balance, getting better, kind of a better base. But yeah, no, I think it helps protect him. I'm not saying he can't play tackle. Obviously we've seen some pretty good stuff where he was able to even get out in space and kind of lead the way a little bit. But I think his best chance for success is inside. And that's just me. I've certainly misread some of these before.
No, that's cool. But it's interesting when I look at it, dude. For them, at least to start off, because they're using 38% of their cap and a bunch of young guys. But you just talked about the run game. Well, if you start with Brewer, then you go Proctor, then you go Paul.
Patrick Paul, yep.
And I love Kaczmarek, dude. I think they got something that they haven't had in years, a true blocking tight end. If you want to add his ass there, you can run to that left side. At least it'll be something that Malik will be able to lean on, hopefully, to make his life a little easier.
Yeah, I think the dream scenario would be to see them become more of a 12 personnel team in terms of, getting multiple tight ends on the field. It's not like the receiver talent is so breathtaking at this point. There's, in my mind, no clear number one, obviously 2, 3 rookies potentially, as part of that group, depending on what Chris Bell can do this year, obviously. And, some guys who have been number 2s, 3s, and 4s, or 3s and 4s mostly. I'm excited about Malik too. And I think he's a fun player, but, really with the run game and then that multiplicity of the 2 tight ends, Kaczmarek, as you said, great blocking tight end in college. I think that's kind of be his bread and butter. He can help you out as a, goal line receiver and short area receiver, things like that. But, if they can get that second tight end to pair with him, gives you a receiving threat and also some run blocking, some personnel packages that are going to help the run game.
Are you as high as I am on Chris Bell? Because I think Chris Bell is going to be a freaking stud. I watched him I watched him tear University of Miami up and the DBs, and
Yeah.
I watched the guy that knows how to run routes, use his body, great hands. I just think he's probably. I've been covering the Dolphins for 37 years, dude. I think he's the most complete receiver they've drafted since O.J. McDuffie.
Wow. Okay, you're going back a minute. Yeah, right. I thought he was super explosive, and to be able to move the way he does, especially after the catch at 220 something pounds, was pretty darn impressive pre-injury last year. So, does he still have the explosiveness? The change of direction stuff. I think you see it a little bit more when he's got a little bit of headwind behind him. Open field stuff. You saw a little bit more wiggle. I don't think that's ever going to be what he does best, but it's there. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the high pointing the ball, strength, explosive movement, I think he's got a lot of things. He was, I talked to some people in the league who felt like he wasn't quite at that first round level pre-injury, but he was pretty close. So I think top 40 pick prior to getting hurt. So they dropped about a round, I would say, and we'll see. I mean, I'm very hopeful though.
When you talk about the cutting and all that, yeah, he's not going to be a guy that's going to, but he knows how to use his body. So
good point. Yeah,
he's going to know that when he makes that cut, he's going to put himself between the defender and the ball, and you're not going to get to it because he's a big dude. I see him like a slightly faster Anquan Bolden. That's the way I see him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's quite as like raw, strong as Anquan is, but yes, that's the kind of big-bodied receiver with a little bit of juice that can make some things happen. Absolutely, yep.
Because Anquan required all physicality because he really wasn't going to outrun people. But this kid, every once in a while, he's going to surprise you. But that's why I think he's and he's physical, not like Anquan, but he's physical. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. All right, quickly around the league. Tua left. What do you think happens in Atlanta when it's all said and done between Tua and Penix?
I think it's set up for him to win the job. It's kind of a double-edged sword for Atlanta. I mean, obviously, on the one hand, you have a new coaching staff and really a new front office too that has no ties to the Michael Penix pick. And we all saw the video when the moment that Penix was selected a couple of years ago. The confusion on Arthur Blank's face as he was asking his former GM Terry Fontenot to explain the pick. Which usually those things are done about 48 hours in advance. Like, here's plan A, here's plan B. I don't know where the disconnect was there, but, clearly he's been kind of bored under a bad sign with the injury stuff and hasn't really had that runway. But just given where both of those guys are injury-wise, and I think there's a real opportunity for Tua to have kind of the Sam Darnold car wash season like he had up in Minnesota, where you can kind of put some past demons behind you, go out and flourish. Obviously, the playmaking ability of those offensive players with Bijan and Kyle Pitts and Drake London, you're starting in a pretty good place. Playing in a dome that he's played in before and had some decent moments in his career. But yeah, I just worry about Penix's health. He could be out for another, again, it's like full contact and everything. You wonder, are they going to keep holding him back for how long? So he's already kind of starting behind him a little bit, behind Tua, who's also missed a couple days as well. But on top of that, is he a great fit system-wise for what Kevin Stefanski does? I say no. I think Tua is the better fit in terms of a rhythm passer, pocket, short and intermediate passing, mix it up with the deep ball here and there. I think that's going to be a better fit than Penix, who's more of the vertical, the sideline thrower and things like that. So, and again, just the lack of injury clarity, I would say, would be another factor. So I think he'll do pretty well for himself. That NFC South is wide open, obviously, and he has a chance to have another good year if he can stay healthy.
Don't forget, folks, you can follow Eric on X at Eric_Edholm. And, of course, catch his work there at Yahoo. Always great insight there. Tampa. Could this be a volatile situation? Because the Vita Vea negotiations.
Yeah.
Got the whole Baker Mayfield stuff now going on. they haven't really crossed that threshold overall. They're kind of holding back a little bit from giving Baker the money, and I'm almost looking at that place like if they don't start off well and there isn't good momentum, it could get pretty ugly in Tampa this year. What do you think about that situation?
Yeah, I definitely think Todd knows that Todd Bowles is coming into a season where, he's got to win. I mean, there's such a bad taste in Bucs fans' mouths after, both they and the Panthers were coughing up the division down the stretch. Seemingly no one wanted to actually win it. Yeah, Bucs win their last game, but can't get in, and it's just sort of a microcosm of what recent times have been like, and then you spill it over and Mike Evans walks in free agency. I mean, something that, after a couple of long holdouts prior to that, it felt like, boy, wouldn't they be able to get that done? But clearly there was an issue there, and he was ready to move on. It's too bad. You'd love to see those guys spend their whole careers in one place. So, and then as you mentioned, the Baker talks have been tense. The Vita Vea talks have led to nowhere in terms of progress. And you can make a case that those are their two most valuable players. I mean, again, if you wanted to argue someone else on defense, sure, okay, fine. But
you already dispatched Mike Evans. You already sent him away. And I'm looking at all the name players, the people that brought you there, the people you already sent away Mike Evans. Now you're pissing off Vita Vea and your quarterback. I don't know what kind of a message the people above are sending down to that locker room.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, if the reports are true that they offered a 2-year deal worth $50 million per year, I don't know that Baker Mayfield can be livid at the Bucs and say, "Oh, they're just cheaping out again." I understand you want a third year, you want more of this security, whatever. Fine, I get it, but this suggestion that they're lowballing him, I think is a little bit absurd if those numbers are correct. But that's Baker. I mean, I think he carries the same chip into the negotiations as he does on the field. And I love the way he plays. First half of the year last year, played great. Second half, not so much. And I wonder if some of the physical toll led to that. He took some hits and he was kind of sacrificing his body a little bit last year at times. So, there's a lot going on there all of a sudden. And as I pointed out, I just feel like with the Panthers made a little bit of a move last year. The Saints feel like a team that could outperform expectations. Atlanta's surely better than the team that was 4-9 entering December last year. I'm not saying it's a good division, but if the Bucs aren't careful, they could be a last place team. And that front seven is entirely new. And if you don't have Vea kind of tying it all together, that's a painful thing for me.
Yeah, and that's why I'm looking at that and I'm going like, wow, man, that place is absolutely ugly. All right, we'll wrap it up with this. Shador or Watson? And by the way, I think it's a really sad state we're in that Cleveland has hung on to this guy and given him every break in the book when he really hasn't represented himself, the league, whatever, overall. It's kind of a weird message, to send. Even the Dolphins, Tua's not a bad dude at all in any sense, like Watson, but they gave him $100 million to just get the hell out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, lack of balls over there in Browns land. But what do you think happens? Because Watson looks like he lost his mojo a few years ago.
Yeah, I think if they could have let him go, they would have a long time ago. I think between the poor play, the lingering allegations from Houston, the whole massage story, the injuries, obviously some of those not his fault, but the questionable body language, some of the comments that have been made, I think most Cleveland fans are entirely sick of him. Now, I think maybe their opinion would change if he came out and played anything close to the level he was at in 2019. I'm trying to remember the years, but or whatever it was last year in Houston there or whatever. But I mean, if they could somehow find a way to get that version of him, I think Browns fans would bite their tongue and grin through it, right? I mean, to me, I feel like you have to find out what you have in Shador, and if it's at all close, I would give him the job and let him run with it as long as he can go. Deshaun Watson would not be my first choice, right? I mean, the fact that he's kind of bringing up the idea of an extension in Cleveland is downright comical to guys like you and me. I don't want to ask Browns fans what their opinion of that notion is, but I would do everything in my power if it's close to give Shadur a little bit of a path and let him work with the offense. Cause I mean, it wasn't great last year, but it wasn't bad. And he found a way to generate explosive plays. And the more you talk to coaches around the league in this generation, yeah, consistency is great. If you can, 7-yard gains every play, that would be amazing. But most teams can't do that. And I think what stings a defense more than anything is the 50-yard pass play. Really gets them on their heels, changes kind of the geometry of the game. And so you hear more and more coaches talk about the explosives. Ben Johnson in Chicago is a big proponent of that, obviously. But yeah, I would say that he gives them the best chance. And the good news is that Denzel Boston is flashing in camp. Casey Concepcion is starting to get up to speed. Spencer Fano is a player that'll be interesting to see how he handles the spotlight. Brand new offensive line. They've drafted well the last 2 years, and they have some talent. Now they just got to make sure they have the quarterback to kind of bring it all together.
Dude, just since you cover the draft, what did Shadur do in those meetings? What did he do to piss people off so badly? Because you and I know he's not a 5th rounder, bro. He should have gone earlier than that. But
yeah,
because the stories really haven't come out. Like, what happened behind the scenes, dude?
Yeah, I think there were some poor interviews. I think there was also a lot of videos that leaked about Shadur saying that he was going to the Giants and that, kind of telling people that, he felt like he had a way to kind of manipulate the process a little bit. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm putting words in his mouth, but the sense I got was that teams didn't like that Dion tried to kind of control the where he went or where he was going to end up. And the Browns weren't necessarily a team that were on their radar. That wasn't a place that they had singled out as like, oh, we want to go to Cleveland, even though they had a job open. So, I think that was some of it. I don't have too many of the details of what went on in some of those private meetings, but, there was a question about whether Shadur was a little bit more concerned about, his music or other things off the field. Again, were those founded or not? I don't know, but we're still pretty early in his evaluation. Last year was a some good, some bad. I think there was some encouraging things that you felt like maybe there's a starting quarterback in there somewhere, but it hasn't quite happened yet. I think you're right. He's not a 5th round quarterback, but I think it was clear that the NFL did not view him as a 1st rounder, maybe somewhere split the difference in between. There were some physical limitations athletically, arm strength wise. Yes, he had some strong intangibles football wise, but I think there was also a question of, does he know how to escape pressure? Because he took so many sacks and felt like he was not operating on the same level as what pro quarterbacks are asked to do in terms of understanding the system, protection, hot reads, all that stuff.
But he could take a hit because Tua couldn't, that's for sure. Anyway,
yeah.
What do you got going on at Yahoo so folks can check you out, my brother?
Yeah, I was working on something on the rookie receivers. I mentioned Denzel Boston earlier, and there's some other non-first round rookie receivers who are starting to kind of open eyes in camp. So I'll have something out on that later today. And I'm just
any in Miami?
Not off the top of my head, although my guy, Kevin Coleman, I am a Mizzou guy. I want to see how he does. Caleb Douglas, also another interesting guy who has some translatable skills, I think, to the NFL. So we'll see. Well, this is like week 1.5 of camp. So, it's very early, and I'm sure I'll be able to do a second list at some point.
And Caleb is still dropping passes, bro. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. But anyway.
It's all right.
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll get it going. But I still have nightmares of James Pruitt and Derek Hagan as a Dolphins fan.
Derek Hagan.
Yeah.
I remember both guys.
And James Pruitt was like, a long time ago. We called. We used to call him James. You blew it, Pruitt. Is what we
that was like the Patriots kicker, Scott Missin Sisson. That was the old nickname from back in the day. I love it. Yep.
Yeah. Every time I hear about a receiver that's coming in that has a history of dropsies, that's what I think of. I'm just
the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. Good stuff as always, my brother. Look forward to catching up down the line.
All right, me too, man. Take it easy.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
And don't forget, my guy Alan is the general manager there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, 16100 Pines Boulevard. Go out there and see them, and they'll take care of you, man. They've been at this for a long time, and they've got a great selection. You can get $500 off when you mention my name. See, every once in a while we'll mention something where you can save some money. $500 off whether you're buying or leasing a vehicle right now. You can get the Forester Base, $227 a month, 1.9% financing. The Ascent Premium, $337 a month, 0.9% financing. The Outback Premium, $277 a month, 0.9% financing. The Crosstrek, it's a great vehicle. You got a youngin' that is starting to drive, $179 a month, 1.9% financing. Go check it out. You can see all the ratings, all the safety ratings, reliability. Subaru's at the top. Go get yourself a Crosstrek. Get that person that is starting to drive a very, very cool-looking and safe vehicle there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. 16100 Pines Boulevard, and tell them that Big O sent you. We thank Eric, as always. Good dude. Great segment. Bitcoin up a little bit, up about 0.5%. It pumped to 64,657. The market, the Dow is down 163 points. The S&P is up 5. The NASDAQ is down a point, and SpaceX is up $2 to 110 from 120, from 108 yesterday. All right. And you can use the QR codes, folks, to make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And send in your questions, comments, insults. We appreciate any of them, as always. All right. You know what? Let's do this. Let me get this out early here. Let's do a little birthdays. Famous people born on August 6th. We start off with Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice, born in 1972. Joyce Sims, you are my all and all. You, born in 1959. Randy DeBarge, from the DeBarge family, born in 1958, singing that Rhythm of the Night. Pat McDonald from Timbuk 3, born in 52. Vinnie Vincent, former member of Kiss, born in 1952. Andy Warhol, founding member, pop art movement, yada, 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 Velvet Underground. He managed it, born in 1928. Now we move over to other famous people born on this day. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away. U.S. First Lady Edith Roosevelt, born in 1861. Baseball Hall of Fame member Henry Eba, Basketball Hall of Fame member Henry Eba, born in 1904. Lucille Ball, born in 1911. Actor Robert Mitchum, born in 1917. Basketball Hall of Fame member David Robinson, born in 65. He is 61. Actress Vera Farmiga, born in 73. She's 53. Actress Soleimun Fry, born in 76. She's 50. Actor, musician Leslie Odom Jr., born in 81, 45. Model Adrian Curry, born in 82, 44. Musician Eric Roberts from Gym Class Heroes, born in 84, 42. Actor Amy Forsythe, born in 95, 31. Those are famous people born on this date. Now let's move over to what happened today in music history. We start off in 1963 in the evening at Studio A at Columbia Recording Studios in New York. Bob Dylan recorded the first session for his third album, The Times They Are A-Changin'. And that was the tooth. In 74, ABBA scored their first U.S. top 10 hit with Waterloo. Went to number 6. The chart climb occurred as ABBA was on their first American tour. In 82, Pink Floyd's film version of The Wall had a limited release in theaters and around New York, and we were all over it. And many of you went high. Admit it. In 88, Guns N' Roses' debut album, Appetite for Destruction, went to number 1 in the U.S. after spending 57 weeks on the charts and selling more than 5 million copies. In 91, PM Dawn released her debut album, Of the Heart, of the Soul, and of the Cross, The Utopian Experience, and it featured Set Adrift on Memory Bliss, which was their hit. In 94, Lisa Loeb started a 3-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Stay, I Missed You. Loeb's friend, actor Ethan Hawke, asked her to provide a song for the upcoming movie Reality Bites. Stay was featured on the film. How about that? Ethan Hawke, man. By the way, he was in that movie the other day that I watched, Brooklyn's Finest. One of the worst movies of all time. It is the action version of Ishtar. In 96, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers released songs and music from the motion picture She's the One, and it features Walls. In 2004, Rick James, bitch, was found dead in his L.A. home at the age of 56. It's a miracle he lasted to 56, to be quite honest. In 2009, Steven Tyler was airlifted to a hospital after falling off stage during a gig at the Sturgis Motor Rally in South Dakota. The Aerosmith singer fell from a catwalk on a couple of fans, suffering neck and shoulder injuries as a result. Did the fans then sue him for falling on him? Outright, you can sue him, right? If he falls on you and he hurts you. Your stoned ass, drunk, coked out ass shouldn't be dancing on stage. You fell on me, you idiot. That's it. You've got your defense. Let's see if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list, like Mike Elliott of the Foundations. He is 97 today, still with us. What an ass kicker, 97. Do you know what it is to make it a 97? That is just absolutely a blessing, dude. Every day's a blessing. But to make it to 97, and Nessa Barrett is 24. That's what happened today in music history. All right. Punky Brewster is 50 years old. Damn, I'm old. Yeah, humble legend. Yes, you are. We're all getting old. Well, I'm already there. Rock is laughing out loud. What did I say? Brooklyn's Finest was a major disappointment from the director of training. No, it wasn't a major disappointment. It was an hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours, whatever it was, a movie I want back from my life. I caught it this weekend for the first time. It's been around. And I saw the lineup and I go, wow. And that is always a danger, right? When you get one of those lineups that, like, it's ridiculous. The lineup that is in Brooklyn's Finest. And that movie sucked royal ass. I mean, royal ass. So I gave you guys Altered Reality from the Miami Herald today. You know, low-budget teams like the Marlins when nothing in South Florida is low budget. All of our pro teams and our college football team. So we gave you the Altered Reality, right? It's funny that all of this happened to me this morning. Boom. So I get up, and I'm in the middle of preparation. So sometimes I'll get in the car, and I'll go get some breakfast, and I'll go get something to eat. And whenever I go, I pop in the car, I turn on QAM, check out my man Joe, see what he's doing. And Joe and Bo comes on. Altered reality. Okay? First, Cody's article says Major League Labor offer is a godsend for low-budget teams like the Miami Marlins. Nothing in Miami is low budget. The human beings that live here can't live on a low budget. You got to make money to even survive in Miami, okay? So, altered reality. Listen to this one. And you guys, I swear to you, this happened. I swear I heard this. And in fact, I will guide you to go to QAM's morning show and go listen to, it was early. It was right when he came on. Whenever Bo comes on, I want you to listen to this, okay? I heard Kim Bocamper mention that how about Malik Willis's overthrows? That's because the guys aren't running fast enough under it. I hope you're not using any kind of heavy equipment or driving right now, because you might crash into a wall or something, or might cut off your fingers. The announcer, Kim Bocamper, who played in the NFL, I swear to you, go check out the audio. I shit you not. The man said, how about Malik's overthrows? Yeah, that's because the receivers aren't running fast enough. Oh, I see. So underthrows is that you have a weak arm, but overthrows is that, no, it's just that you have a strong, not an accurate arm, but a strong arm. What's the difference between an overthrow or an underthrow? Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, you might have a better chance catching the underthrow. I've never heard that in my life. My man said, yeah, no, how about Malik's overthrows? Yeah, that's because the receivers aren't running fast enough. What the fuck? So the low-budget Marlins and Malik, well, it's the receiver's fault. They're just not running fast enough. It's what it is. Now you all know, every time you've seen an overthrow, blame the receiver for not running fast enough. Blame the receiver for not having long enough arms. Blame the receiver for not being able to jump 16 feet in the air. I don't know. But that's, altered reality. I shit you not. Go to their podcast. Go to the first segment wherever you see that Bo is on there. I don't know what time it was. It was probably, must have been like in the 7 o'clock hour or early 8 when I went to go get breakfast. I forgot what it was. You got to see it, dude. You got to hear that. How about Malik? Yeah, no, it's the receivers aren't running fast enough. I was like, wow, that was just said on the air by somebody that actually played the game? Okay. That's funny shit, dude. So I saw those two things today, and I'm like, wow, what happened to honesty about what you actually what you're witnessing? The Marlins aren't low budget. They're a cheap-ass outfit with a cheap-ass owner. The only owner that doesn't spend. Period. The Canes outspend them. That's disgusting. And when you overthrow somebody, it's a bad throw. Okay? It's not that the receivers are not running fast enough. The hell is that, dude? Oh, man, the things you hear. I got to tell you. But it's all right. I know how the game is played. You play it early on. You don't want to question anything. You play the cheerleader stuff. You bring out your pom-poms the entire time. And then when it's obviously bad, then you can go on board and then, But at the moment, you don't want to because, you want to be buddy-buddy and you want to make sure that, they don't piss you off and all that kind of stuff. By the way, you'll never be pissed off when you go to Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines because Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the great people out there, the service center, Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they take care of you. They pamper you. Okay? That's what it's all about. You get there, they'll take care of you. You got a large selection, which is a great way of looking at it. You're looking for an Integra, you got several Integras. You're looking for an RDX, you are going to see a whole bunch of them. You're looking for an MDX, you'll see a whole bunch of them, folks. Get on down there to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And right now, the Summer of Performance sales event is going on. The Integra 2026, $239 a month, 2.9% financing for 60 months. The ADX, $289 a month, 3.9% financing. The RDX, $419, and the MDX, $489 a month. That's ridiculous. Get on down there and make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you there at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Oh, let's see. I can already see QAM making a bunch of excuses. Well, I don't know about them making excuses or not. I just laughed at that. Like, why would you even say something so ridiculous? It's just it was funny, dude. I'm at work getting the public school ready to return for the school year, and Big O brings back trauma from you, Blewett, Pruitt, and Derek Hagan. Yikes. I'm sorry, Mike. When I hear about Caleb Douglas having problems with the dropsies. And let me tell you something. The Derek Hagan one was weird for me because the Derek Hagan one was, that was a Saban year. Saban years, but that one year that he drafted him. And I was doing sideline broadcasts for the Senior Bowl. Derek Hagan actually caught a touchdown in that one. I believe Jay Cutler threw it to him, if I'm correct. I think that's how it went. I think it was Jay Cutler that threw it to him. And it was one of those deals where I got to meet the kid, nice guy and everything, but he had that history of drops. And then Saban drafts him, and it never stopped. And it was just something that, and if you're a Dolphins fan for a long time like you and I are, and you lived the days of James U. Blewett Pruitt back in the 80s or Derek Hagan more modern, those are things that stay with you, that you drafted a guy that has bad hands, and then he continues to have bad hands. And that kind of sucks. And Caleb has continued to drop passes too at times there in camp. And it's early, and I get it, but I'm what's it called? It's one of those things that I'm broken from that. It's pain that's there, and there are reminders constantly and things like that. So, All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Props to Shaq. And I agree with Shaq on this one. He was asked about LeBron James and being a top 5 Laker of all time. And his quote was, he's at the party, but he's not at the table, I think it is. Let's see. He's at the party, but he's not on stage. And I agree with him that LeBron James is not a top 5 Laker of all time. When I look at the list, no specific order, but all of these guys that I'm about to mention are greater Lakers than LeBron. Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, Jerry West, Wilt, Worthy, and the original Laker, George Mikan. Even though it wasn't in LA, it was Minneapolis, but I think, 4 or 5 titles? I'm sorry, dude. I don't care what era it is. The guy was a monster. The guy led the Lakers, the Minneapolis Lakers, because there's plenty of lakes in Minneapolis, not in LA, but in Minneapolis. It's kind of like the Utah Jazz when they moved it from New Orleans. It's like, well, wait a minute, bro. There's Jazz in New Orleans. What the hell happened in Utah? There ain't no Jazz there, but they kept the name. It is what it is. But Mikan is ahead of LeBron also. And while James Worthy is not a better player overall than LeBron James in the whole big pic, he's a better Laker. He was part of, I think it's 4 titles. I think he won 4 of the because I think Magic got 5. I think he won 4 of them. Are you kidding me? If you watch those Laker teams, do you know how important James Worthy was to those teams? That spin move he had on the baseline, that shit was dangerous, dude. He'd hook you and spin right around you, and bam. Worthy was sweet. And running the lane? Are you kidding me, James Worthy? Look, I'm not going to put Byron Scott there or anything ahead of him, even though he won more titles and all that. I mean, Shaq even kind of mentioned Kurt Rambis in a way. I'm not even going to do that. But I am going to mention the great ones that played there. And I'm going to say Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, Jerry West, Wilt, Worthy, and Mikan are all greater Lakers than LeBron James. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He would be at number 9, LeBron. We'll start the conversation there. I might find somebody else. I don't know. But that when you talk about Shaq is right. You know what I mean? You were there for 8 years. You won 1 title, and you won it in a shortened year against a team that kind of got good fortunes of being there. You weren't playing a great opponent because our Heat weren't a great opponent. Let's be honest. It's not like it's the unsexiest title that the Lakers have ever won. But props to Shaq. Unlike the Herald headline guy or Bo Camper, honesty about what, their situation really is. So good shit by Shaq. I definitely like that. I don't talk, let me stay in LA for a second. I don't talk a lot of baseball because it's not really, we don't have a baseball team in town and all that stuff. So it's not something that really inspires people. But can I ask, what's the silliness of the overreaction with the Dodgers? Bro, their payroll is amazing. I'm going to stay consistent here. Did I not tell you on May 5th or 6th? I forgot. I wrote it down in another paper there. I forgot. I think it's May 5th. I told you on May 5th when the Marlins were way under 500 and stinking it out. I said, hey, hang in there, dude. This is baseball. Marlins, for those, 3 and 4 Marlins fans are out there. I said, hang in there. There's going to be a nice winning streak, and then they'll lose again a bunch of games. And what ended up happening? They won a bunch of games, and then they lost a bunch of games, right? Because it's baseball. People don't realize that in baseball, when there's 162 games, well, there's going to be ups and downs even for the worst teams and the best teams. It's what I told you. I told you even bad teams like the Marlins will get on runs. They all do because it's baseball. And even great teams that are loaded like the Dodgers, they're going to lose games. And people are like freaking out because they've lost 6 games. Big freaking deal, dude. It's baseball. It's 162 of them. They do it every day. It's monotonous. While it doesn't pull out of you, let's put it this way. Inter Miami will use more energy in the 6 games they will play in the next 3 weeks than the Dodgers will playing baseball for 3 weeks. But doing it every day takes while athletically, Inter Miami will use more energy, what the Dodgers are doing, or baseball players, period, because it's so long from the time you get to the park to the time you leave, and you do it every day, it wears on you mentally more than it would on Inter Miami players or football players or basketball players, because it is constant. There is very little rest. You're resting and right back. It's what you do every day. Work, rest, work, rest, work, rest, work. Takes a toll on you, mentally, not the physical part of it. So that it's kind of an imbalance there. And because of that, you're going to have lulls in baseball. Even the Dodgers are going to have lulls. So I don't understand why people are freaking out when it comes to the Dodgers that badly. They're so loaded, dude. They'll be fine. And your home will be fine, too, if you protect it with Sloman's. You can get Sloman's Home Shield from your phone, control everything in your home. We're in 49 of 50 states. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you if you're looking for protection for your home. They've been protecting Americans for 100 years. Reach out to Sloman's Home Shield. 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right. A lot of motivation for the Canes. I love it, dude. Poll is out, and I think I tweeted it out. I tweeted it out, and I put out there that there's a lot of motivation for the Canes because the poll is out. And let me share it with you here. Share the poll. That's what she said. Here we go. Let me take out Sloman's just in case. So this is the coaches preseason poll on CNN, CNNSI, whatever it's called. And check it out, folks. Ohio State's number 1, 38 first place votes. Oregon, number 2. Georgia, 3. Texas, 4. Notre Dame, the team that Miami plays on the road, got 5 first-place votes. And Indiana, after losing all of that, they got 14, and they're ahead of Miami. What do you guys think about that? I think that's a lack of respect, and I'm loving every part of it. Because I think Miami's better than that. If you want to put them under Ohio State, I'm good. Outside of that, I think they don't belong anywhere else. They belong either at 1 or okay, because Ohio State is Ohio State and they reload and they've been doing it longer. Mario's just starting to turn that corner now. Okay, I'll give it to Ohio State 1 and Miami 2. They got their quarterback back. They got a receiver. They always have talent on defense. They've recruited great everywhere. So I'm good with Ohio State 1. I'm actually not good that Miami's not number 2. How do you like them apples? Because I think they're better than all those teams. Now they got to go out and prove it. Big O, you left Elgin Baylor off the list. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, you can get to it. He won, was it 1 in 72? Yeah, you can do that. But interesting. Interesting. I like it. This is good for Mario. This isn't rat poison. This is motivational stuff. The rat poison would be what I want, being the number 2 or number 1 team in the country. That's rat poison. So what I want, the respect I want them to get, I think they deserve. There you go. Now they got all the reasons to go out there and kick some serious ass. And say, oh, okay, so you guys don't respect us. And especially Notre Dame. They beat them last year. And now you've got them 2 spots ahead of Miami. And let's be honest, Indiana lost a lot too. Miami gave Indiana everything. If Miami didn't make the mistakes, they win that game. I like it. Lots and lots of motivation for the Canes. Good shit, man. I like that. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Paul Gasol. I said I stopped there because those are for sure. We can have a conversation. I'd actually put maybe Paul Gasol ahead of him too. Because Spanish, as Kobe would point out, was very important in those championships. Because he won 2. Yeah. That's a good one. I have no problem with that. But that's where we start to get in a discussion. Okay? But the guys that I put on the list, there's no doubt about it at all. That's where I would go with that. Rock Bear is checking in from the UK. It was great to see your interview with Dave Hyde. Both you, a fountain of knowledge about South Florida sports. Look forward to your debates with him in the future. Thank you, sir. Dave is a class act, and very nice of him to show up. I told you guys we'd start doing more interviews now. I didn't do any interviews throughout the off season and stuff like that because I don't like to bother people when there's really nothing going on and you're just filling segments and things like that. I can talk. I'm good with that. You know, I don't need 8-minute breaks to give me some time to get my thoughts together or whatever. I prepare pretty well and have all my topics ahead of time and ready to go. So I'm good. I can power through a couple of hours if I have to. Sometimes I'll go to 3. And football season, I'll definitely go into 3 sometimes. So as we get hot and heavier, hopefully we'll have some fun with that. But yeah, it's a nice discussion to have. But overall, the gist of the point was that Shaq is right. LeBron's not even in the top 5. I don't have him in the top 8. It's the Lakers, man. It's like the Yankees. It's like the Dodgers. What are you going to do? It's like the Celtics. These are teams that are so rich in their history. They've got a ton of great players. So that to crack that elite part of that for those kind of organizations, it's really hard, dude. You have to accomplish a lot, and LeBron did not. So he doesn't really belong. And what you guys are bringing up with Baylor and Powell, Gasol, he may not even be in the top 10. Forget top 5. Not talent, Laker. There's a difference. Talent, we all know that he's, top 3. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Laker. It's what you accomplished in a Laker uniform. And that's where you can't go. Wow, 7th. What else can you expect from the national media? It's okay. Mario's going to have them boys coached up and ready to go. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. Top 5 all-time Heat. Hardaway, Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Zoe, Shaq. You don't put Bosh there? Bosh is an all-timer, bro. Bosh has the most important rebound, the most important block, the most important assist in Heat history. I would put Bosh there, man. Bosh is a hell of a player. He just had to play the number 3 role, and he was awesome at complimenting those guys. And he was a super pro about it, man. I love Hardaway, man. Don't get me wrong. but I would probably put Bosch in there, man. I just think that Bosch doesn't get, enough love overall. Eric says, Wilt, Jerry, Magic, Worthy, Scott. Wow, he's got Scott in there. Damn. No Shaq? I don't know about that one, Eric. I can't put Scott in there over Shaq, bro. There's no way I can do that, my man. Zoe over Bosch is no, not Zoe. I would put Bosch over Hardaway is who I would put. That's who I would put. Out of his list that he's got there, I would put Bosch instead of Hardaway. That's just me. What can I tell you, man? But good stuff for the Canes. I hope that pumps the hell out of them and gets them going. FIFA, pathetic, right? I mean, what else can you say about FIFA? So they're not going to fire Infantino. What Infantino was basically doing was almost like illegal. He didn't have the authority to go out and do what he wanted to do, and yet he had the wheels in motion. He thought he could run FIFA however he wanted to. Think about that. That's exactly how he carried himself in this whole process. He thought he could do whatever he wanted and that he thought he was FIFA. And now, I mean, the entire organization is corrupt. But I'll tell you something. And again, this comes from the cynical side of me that has been at this nearly 40 years. And I've watched all kinds of things where there's always ulterior motives to why they do certain things. And you think, okay, this guy was doing some dirty shit behind the scenes without the authority that he needed. Plus, if you look at the behavior of FIFA in this tournament, it looked like it was rigged. And now you're not going to fire the guy? This tells me that down the line, they could be thinking about really doing some of that. But since they were surprised and they weren't ready for it and they were, they put up a front now. But if you don't fire a guy for going behind the scenes without your authority, then what are we doing here? And this is why I can't trust them in any which way we talk about this. I don't know what's going on, because to me, it was more than a fireable offense what Infantino did and trying to sell the World Cup to private investors. Pretty dirty shit. And for them not to fire Infantino, it just goes to show why they're a disgrace of an organization, just like the Olympic Committee. Don't forget our friends here at Toyota of Hollywood, proud sponsors of our program. You can reach out to them at 844-888-0753. Go visit them at 1841 North State Road 7. They're right on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. They've got 2,000 vehicles in stock. Herbie Lopez, man, he's an ass kicker. He's got over 1,200 vehicles in stock. And when you go see a Corolla, you're going to see a large selection of Corollas. All right, you're going to go see Camrys. You're going to go see a whole bunch of Camrys. You can get the 2026 LE for $259 a month, 3.99% financing. The Tacoma, oh, baby. When you go see the SR5 Tacoma, you're going to see a whole bunch of Toyota Tacomas. That way you can pick the car you want, the style you want, the model you want, but more importantly, the price you want. How about the Corolla Cross? Like I said, you're going to get all kinds of Corollas, hybrids, crosses, regular Corollas, the RAV4. Again, large selection, and man, the RAV4 has become one sweet-looking SUV. I remember when it first started, it was like kind of like a cool little kids type of SUV early on in its existence. Now it has matured, and now it looks like just a big, old, beautiful SUV that adults can drive now. It's not like it looks like a fun little SUV. It looks like a beautiful SUV now. The RAV4, $299 a month, 4.9% financing. The 4Runner, you love the 4Runner, great truck. You can go get a large selection there. $369 a month. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you there at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. I bought my car there at Hollywood because of you. Thank you, Rock. I appreciate you, my brother. Hope you mentioned me, too. All right. He was selling a 20% share. He was trying to run it like a limited partnership. Yeah, no, dude, this tells me that they're going to try to do something down the line, that it gave them an idea of something. These are dirty people, dude. Absolutely dirty people. On the Miami Dolphins front, I want to just talk a little bit about Caden Proctor. And one of the things that you saw Eric Edholm mention that he loved him at guard, which is interesting because I didn't hear a lot of people say that they really wanted him at guard. Most of the people that I saw or talked to, they all thought he was going to end up being a right tackle because you already had a left tackle here overall. Now, here's the thing that I don't understand about how everything's been carried. Unless you tell me, and this, Eric kind of gave me an idea here, maybe Sully looks at him as a guard also. Why would you have this idea that you're going to lock him up there and not play him at right tackle, knowing your right tackle's injury prone, knowing that if you get lucky and get a good, healthy year out of Austin Jackson, you might be able to trade him at the trading deadline, and then you'll need a right tackle. You don't have one because, heck, we know Charlie can't do it. So, what's going on here? How are you not practicing him anyways at right tackle at this point in time? And if your plan is to keep him at left guard, let's say if, like Eric says, he loves him at guard more than tackle, which is, again, not something I normally heard, but I've known Eric for a long time, and he covers the draft and all that, so he watches a shit ton of film, and I respect that. But think about this. So if you're going to keep him there, then, man, could you have done a better job of finding a better swing tackle for right tackle than Charlie Heck? This is one where, and I worry about this only because you signed Malik Willis. You believe in Malik Willis. Clearly, Sully thinks Malik Willis is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Whether you believe it or I believe it or we don't or whatever, it does not matter. What he believes is what matters. And he believes that he thinks that Malik Willis is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Well, dude, take care of the kid. Because if Austin Jackson cannot play, or if you get a chance to trade him, you need to be ready. And so far, what it looks like is you are not prepared for this specific issue because you're not willing to move the kid from left guard to right tackle. And then I also think about Eric now. I wonder if he's thinking along the lines, just like Eric Edholm just told you. No, I like just kind of a odd situation going on with the whole Proctor thing. I just hope the guy turns out to be an absolute stud 'Cause I have maybe I'm wrong, but I have all the confidence in the world that Ruben Bain is going to be a flat-out ass kicker. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Says at this point, Dolphins signing offensive tackles at Fuddruckers. Now, why don't we get them over at IHOP? That way they can pancake them. And from all reports, Charlie Heck has been horrible in camp. Yes, he's horrible. That's why he looks horrible. Usually that's what happens. When you are horrible, you will look horrible. If Austin's healthy, why not kick him into guard? I think Rock, because he excels at tackle, not at guard. He never really excelled at guard. He plays well at tackle. Yeah. His problem is he can't stay healthy, and that's the issue. But again, why are they so married to Caden Proctor at guard? That's kind of weird. It just is. And when I hear Eric say, oh, I loved him at guard. Wow, okay. That one takes me by surprise. Didn't hear a lot of that people really loved him at guard. Okay, that's a little different. Again, not a lot of baseball talk, but I'm just going to mention again, the Pirates, did you guys see this? They released today Marcell Ozuna, or yesterday. He signed a 1-year, $12 million deal. From the days of the Marlins and then after, he just gradually got worse and worse and worse, dude. He actually wasn't a guy that you would keep, was going to be smart to keep long term. He had a very short window of success, and then after that, it just fell apart, and he never really found his groove again. And I saw that today, that he got released, and he got $12 million to play whatever amount of games they've played already. How about that? How sweet is that, dude? Batting around the Mendoza line, stinking out the place. You're so terrible, they cut your ass, and you get $12 million, dude. You and I picked the wrong profession. You know. I guess the day we check out and we go up there and maybe we hang out with God for a little bit, you can sit back and say, hey, God, any chance you could have given me some, like, Major League Baseball talent so I can go steal a couple bucks? Proctor better turn out to be a player, man, because I'm going to keep my eye on Ruben Bain, and if Ruben balls out and Proctor doesn't, it's going to leave a bad taste as a Fins fan. Yeah. Did you see the highlight yesterday where he comes up on the old lineman on one-on-ones, and he goes like this. He just jukes a little bit to the left. He makes the lineman bite, and he just pushes him aside and goes right into the quarterback. He's getting more and more comfortable, which is what you expect from a guy like Ruben Bain, that he'll start to figure out what these guys are all about at this level, and then he'll do his damage. But it's a great highlight, dude. It's a freaking killer highlight. How he just, he's working his mind now along with the physicality of it. Usually the rookies come in and they try to, take on the world, whereas now you can tell Bain is using his head already at this point, which is scary shit. Okay? Good for the Bucks. They got themselves a hell of a player and a hell of a person, man. Big O, whatever happened to the guy Dion Jordan? What a bust. Drafted so high, I don't think he played in Seattle for a little bit. He bounced around a little bit. He actually had more production in other places. Yeah, and I think he's still playing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still playing. You can Google it if you want. If you put Dion Jordan, it'll come out. I'm sure. Let me see. Let's see where Dion Jordan is at. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Dion Jordan was poised for NFL stardom. Now he's living a life no one could imagine. Let's see. Dion Jordan is the new head coach at Eureka College. Eureka! He's a head coach. Is living life as no one could imagine. He works 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to turn around a team that lost 18 of 20 games over the last 2 seasons. All right. There you go. So now we know where Dion Jordan is. Oh, wait a minute. This is the wrong Dion Jordan. No, wrong Dion Jordan. No, this is not. He caught 26 touchdowns or something. No, this is the wrong one. I think I got to put Dion Jordan and put like defensive end or something like that. That's what I got to do. See what we got here. Let's see. No, it is the same guy. No. It is. Okay, Eureka College. Yeah, Oregon Ducks. Yeah, no. That's it. That is it. So how about that? He left the NFL for Eureka College. Let me see what was his last year for Dion Jordan. 2020. Wow, he's been gone that long? Holy crap. Damn. I thought he lasted a little longer. He had 3 sacks in 2 years for Miami. He had 4 in Seattle. He had 1.5 the following year, then 2, and then 3 with San Francisco. So he played with Seattle, Oakland, and the Niners. And he did better with all of them. Except the 1 year with Seattle, the second year we had only 1.5 sacks. But his first year with Seattle, he had 4. His last year with San Francisco, he had a whole 3 sacks, bro. By the way, the 4 sacks the first year in Seattle came in 5 games. That's not bad, actually. The 3 his final year in San Francisco came in 13 games. So in 6 years, he had a whopping 13.5 sacks. Worth every penny of that draft pick. What a beast, that Dion Jordan. I thought he was still around up until like last year or the year before or something, hanging around some team. I thought he was still hanging around out of the West Coast. But no, he's gone. He's gone. Eureka! He's the head coach now. Biggest bust, Chad Henne. Why you gotta pick on Chad Henne, bro? Jesus, poor Chad Henne. You know what? Chad Henne was a bust, but not that big a bust. He was the 50th pick of the draft, if I remember correctly. So he was late second round. He was a 4-year starter. He threw for a ton of yards. His last game in that bowl game against Florida, he played in like a spread and he kicked their ass. It was understandable to take him where they took him in the latter part of the second round. It ended up being a bad pick because it didn't work out, but it wasn't like a ridiculous reach for Chad Henne. If they would have taken him in the first round, then yeah, it's a reach. Like Tannehill, that's a reach. But in the second round, dude, the guy played how many years? He was a backup forever. He played 14 years, man, in the NFL. He lasted a lot longer and was a much later pick than, let's say, Dion Jordan. Let's see. 57th overall in the second round. I said 50th. Yeah. He ended up throwing for 13,000 yards, a whopping 60 touchdowns, and a whopping 63 interceptions. Chad Henne. Career record of 18-36. But overall, yeah, dude, he wasn't, it wasn't like the worst of picks. Bad picks are like Eric Kumaro and Jay Brophy. Those are bad picks when you reach for him in the first round. Sammy Smith, the 9th overall pick. Ted Ginn, who ended up having a really good career overall, better than Chad Henne, but he was never worth the 9th pick. Deion Jordan was, like the 3rd, 4th, 5th pick in the draft or something like that. Those are bad, but if you're the 57th player picked, it's not the worst miss on a draft pick. It was bad, you missed, whatever, but I can think of so many that were worse than that, much earlier picks that just did not work out. Yatil Green was a first rounder. It's way worse, dude. There's a lot of first rounders you can come up with that are way worse than Chad Henne being a late second. So that's where I would give Henne a little bit of a break in that sense, because he did have the credentials to be taken where he was taken. But when you take a Ryan Tannehill at number 8 overall, he didn't have the credentials. That's where that's a stupid move on their part. That's a really bad draft pick right there. That made no sense. Especially when the guy that drafted him had an outside scout him and tell him, yeah, he's a second rounder. And I can understand taking Tannehill in the second round because he's kind of a project. He's athletic. He can throw. He can run. So I get it. That's where you take projects, second, third rounds. But when you take him in the first round, boy, you're taking him because you feel that person's going to be a player, overall. So that's what I would tell you, when it comes to that pick of Chad Henne. Good dude, by the way, Just kind of sucks that it didn't work out for him. Well, I mean, it worked out for him because he had a 14-year career, made himself some good money as a backup quarterback. He'll never have to work again, and he got himself Super Bowl rings with Kansas City. I mean, overall, you got to say that Chad Henne had the life. Got to give him props. All right, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Let's see. Joe Shad, by the way, tweets out that Will Kazmarek should make a strong contribution in the run game. I agree. What else? From camp. Omar Kelly says, at first, after 2 plays, I was gone. I got accustomed to this weather and to this thick air, Kyle Lewis says. When I'm tired, I just look at the man across from me. When I see him tired, I feel better. That's Kyle Lewis talking to the media. Let's see if there's any kind of news from Dolphins camp that would, let's see. Chris Bell, by the way, was doing route running sessions before practice today. Ollie Gordon with a first down reception from Mark Gronkowski. That's not really anything new. Mark Llewellyn with the corner to wins the corner to heat up Mark Gronkowski as he tries a deep ball, but just out of reach for Tolbert. Oh, just out. Well, Tolbert wasn't running fast enough. That's a problem. It's never overthrown. It's that the receiver is not running fast enough. Okay? Jalen Wright apparently had another nice convicted run when he got no indecisions. They spot him down after a gain of 8. Oh, by the way, that was Travis Wingfield. Let me give credit to the people that are there sitting there sweating their asses off. Jeremy Fowler. Well, it's not important because it's not in Miami. It's now 4th and 36 at the 34. Chop Robinson flushes Malik Willis out of the pocket, and Tyrell Dodson with a tackle in the backfield, stopping the first down conversion. Offense failed. Patrick Paul definitely getting my stock down today, says Omar Kelly. All right. Dolphins send the house again, this time on Ewers, and the ball never comes out. Quinn passed up the hot, and by the time he tried to find the next in the progression, it was over. All right. Willis tries a swing to right, but Chris Johnson comes from the depth to shut it down. Taffy and Brents in on the stop, says Travis Wingfield. Ethan Robinson with a sack on Gronkowski. Right now, it doesn't look like the offense was doing too good today. So, let me see. Jalen Wright hits a seam with daylight. Nice acceleration off the cutback off Brewer. In Proctor with Jonah sealing the backside. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Travis Wingfield does a really good job of describing what's going on at camp, by the way. And he knows all the football lingo, too. Since he's around all those football people in the building, good for him, bro. He does excellent work. And it's tough what he does. Travis Wingfield's job is super tough because he works for the team. So he has to have a balance. Super, super tough to do what he does. You know, you work for a horrible franchise and you've got to cover it. It's tough. Malik Willis shot a deep ball to Malik Washington with Juju Brents and Michael Taffy there to break it up. But it was Jacoby Rodriguez who really caught my eye. This is a ball 50 yards downfield, and Rodriguez sees the ball, takes off, turns and sprints after it. By the time the breakup happens, within arm's reach, the thing gets tipped into the air. He's got a pick and a big return. This defense runs to the ball every single rep. All right. There you go. All right, those are some of the things that went on in camp. We'll keep you updated if anything. The good thing is I don't see anything about any injuries right now. So that's good. That helps out. That is good news, ladies and gentlemen. Good news. All right. Let me see. All right. What do we got here? Opening day, we have Mahomes at home. The Chiefs, I hope they play. Last time he played here was during the COVID days. Well, I'm sure he'll play, dude. I'm sure he's going to play. If he comes back from that knee injury, he'll play. Yes, John Bosa's both sons play in the NFL, and they're both injury-prone too. Not as injury-prone as their dad. Their dad, unfortunately, could not make it. But their dad, when he was injury-prone, it was an era where when you had a knee injury, it was kind of like a death certificate for you. It was hard to come back in those days when Bosa, when the dad was playing. And from everything, like Kumaro was a bust. From everybody, people tell me John Bosa was a monster. Like, he was tearing it up. It's just he had the injury. But a lot of people feel like he was only a bust because that's how it ended up being, because he didn't play. But when the people that saw him practice and all that stuff, they will tell you to this day, dude, that guy had the talent. That guy was going to be a monster. A lot of people will tell you that. Yeah. So, yeah, Kumaro was terrible. Eric Kumaro was a horrible pick. We had a lot of busts over the years. First-round picks. Oh, my God, the amount of first-round picks that we have that are busts from the Shula era till now, It's a long-ass list, ladies and gentlemen. Long-ass list. All right. We appreciate all of you out there as always. Don't forget to smash the like button before you go. Appreciate the support every single day. We shall see you all tomorrow. Oh, and we thank Eric Edholm for joining us. If you missed the interview, go check it out. You can rewind. We talked some Dolphins. We went around the league. Also, we've got Dave Hyde's interview from yesterday. It's also on the platform, so go check it out and hit the like button and all that good stuff. I love you all out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.